Okay, and next we have Blight runes. This is the first of the corruption runes, and I like the theme we went with here. This is obviously pseudo inspired from the Death Blight from Elden Ring, and I thought it would go really well in the Shades of Dominion when it comes to um, corruption spells and the price that one pays for power, and the way that one can use the powers of corruption to corrupt one's enemies. This is the kind of theme that we went with when we went with these when I went with this type of rune. So let's get into it. We have runecasting Blight runes. And this is going to be pretty exciting. First off, what do they do? Their debuff, obviously. It triggers when toughness is met and they have a number of blight runes equal to their toughness. Now, when they have blight runes equal to their toughness and the target becomes exhausted or a spell targets a blighted target, this is when the things get really nasty. But it's generally whenever you have a spell that adds so many blight runes that the target is overwhelmed with the blight magic, the corrosive magic of blight. The debilitation is that every time that they become exhausted as a result of this, I think it's specifically no, it's not specific. That's another rune. Whenever they have blight runes equal to their toughness and they become exhausted, they lose a toughness permanently. Until the runes are removed, they lose a toughness. You don't get it back. It doesn't heal. You lose it instantly, and toughness 0 is instant death. So this is a big deal. If you have blight runes, they're debuffing you. You're taking penalties to your skill test rolls, and each time you become exhausted because you've failed those rolls, that's the difference. Stress runes will exhaust you for failing a roll. Blight runes do not. Blight runes wait for you to fail yourself or exhaust yourself. That's the difference. These things need to be said. But each time you become exhausted, your toughness is reduced. And once you get to toughness 0, you are dead. There are no saves, there's no going back. Because it's corruption, because it is do or die, because it's corruption. Like it is this is one of the mainstays, the main powers of death. So, how do you recover from it? Well, we're not going to get there too. Spell types and debilitations, loss of toughness, obviously. You have the Bog Wraith to represent the kind of like Dementor nature of this rune. Withering Touch and Crippling Fear. Blight represents all of these things, the physical and the mental and psychological. So, again, how do you recover from this crap? Religion. You need to find you some Jesus. Just kidding. While in combat, a DC check of 20 plus the number of blight runes on you. That should not say insight. That should say religion. 20 plus religion check as a full action. Now, outside of that's in combat. That is your option. You can make a DC check of 20 plus the number of blight runes on you as a full action, making the skill test is a religion check. Outside of combat, it's similar to stress runes. It will take a long rest to remove them. You can also pay Stained Shade equal to the number of blight runes to be removed. And you can also, at a half skill check of the above DC, You can, if you cut that check in half and you still make it, but you don't make the full amount, that will be enough to delay the debilitation in between combat encounters, should your Shade Master be ever so generous to allow that. That is an option. Now, sample spells. Ritual Acolyte is a Shade summon, and just looking at the bullet to the side, it allows stronger spells to be cast at a lower cost, and it cripples your enemies and yourself. So the Ritual Acolyte is a Shade summon that has the ability of pay 1 corruption and gain 1 Blight rune. It allows you to instantly convert 3 unstayed shade into 3 corruption shade. Normally, it's only 1 corruption shade you can get from 3 unstained. So, for the price of it's a 1-for-1 trade. So you're just converting unstained straight to corruption. That's a phenomenal ability. Accursed Beast is also a shade summon that is incredible. That's a little stronger. That's a little on the stronger side. And you can either sacrifice a shade summon as it's played, or you can gain 2 Blight runes. So that's Accursed Beast and Death Bloom. You gain a Blight rune, but all of your enemies within 10-foot radius lose a wound automatically. So you are getting in tune with your inner death and just laying waste to people's wounds and their vitality. Samples of Tasting Blight. And that should do it. Behold the Blight rune. Uh, Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it. Next, we will be discussing the second corruption rune, which is the Curse rune. I think y'all will like it. I think that y'all will appreciate what we've done here. So, next we have the Curse runes. Bye bye.